Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates and a little bit of a tips and tricks video actually. I haven't done one of these in quite a while now, but I really wanted to talk about this specialist after its recent buff, because the specialist used to be, I would say, the least used class on almost all maps except for like maybe Crate and Kashyyyk, but as of right now it's probably my favorite actually. It doesn't have the best point gain, sure, but I can easily top the scoreboard in terms of kills and eliminations using the specialist after the recent buff. So if you for some reason missed it, they buffed the health of the specialist from 100 up to 150, which means that it's on the same level as the assault and officer. So why is it so good now and how do I use it? Well, I'm actually not really using the specialist as a sniper, but I'm using it more close quarters. I've actually moved on from using the NT242 to the A280 CFE with the burst mod. You might remember that this weapon was really good back in the beta, and well, it hasn't changed since then as far as I know. It's just been that the NT242 has been better for actual sniping, and I would say it still is. But like I mentioned, I'm not using the specialist as a sniper, at which point the A280 CFE with the burst mod is fantastic for close range battles. They did say that they increased the kind of penalty for shooting after sprinting with the specialist so that you won't see people running around and kind of quick scoping people, and I can't really say that I've felt that at all. I can easily run around and shoot people with the A280 CFE and pretty much beat any other class if I just aim properly. And I'm not really sure if that's good, because I feel like maybe that's not how the specialist should be played. But nevertheless, it's a really good setup and that works well for me, and I still use the NT242 on some maps, like, well, where I actually do snipe, because that's the only weapon you can one-shot the enemies in the head with. And the A280 CFE is not that good on long range, if I'm gonna be honest, because you gotta land quite a few hits, so I pretty much only use it medium and short range. So what star cards am I using? Well, all of these three star cards kind of have like synergy in between each other, and they boost each other up, I would say. So if we start off with the main card I use, it's the stealth star card, and this one actually has two uses, because first of all, it hides me on the radar when I shoot. So as you can see here, I'm able to shoot people in the back and they have no idea where it's coming from, so they're not even noticing me shooting them in the back. I mean, sure, they could have listened and actually pay attention, but compared to seeing a big red flare on the map, this star card does actually help a lot. But that's only half of the use. The other half is that it boosts up my melee damage all the way up to 125, which means I can two-shot any class with the melee. And I've even managed to kill heroes from full health with melee. That's how good it is. But this all comes down to the second star card that I wanted to mention, which is the personal shield. Because as much as 125 damage is a good punch, you will still die very easily with 150 health, so that shield is required if you want to get some proper melee kills. And that's pretty much the main reason to why I use the shield, either to offensively attack people and melee them down, or if I'm very low on health and I'm about to die, obviously I can use it in defensive measures as well. But the stealth card combined with the shield is extremely effective, as you will almost always win a 1 versus 1 battle with any normal class. And lastly, we've got the infiltration card, and I'm using the hardened infiltration. Here I would say that there's actually a couple of good options, or at least two, because I use the hardened infiltration because when I go for an aggressive run, basically, I like to have that extra toughness. That means I won't die too easily, because what the hardened infiltration does is that it makes you take less damage, so you actually have more than 150 health when you have that star card activated. So when you rush in, you'll probably have over 200 health. I'm actually unsure of the exact number of damage reduction, but I'd imagine you have more health than a heavy when you have the hardened infiltration on. So that way it makes it into a really effective weapon, as the actual blaster, which is the EE4, is very effective and you can kill people extremely fast, almost faster than with the Vanguard if you get a proper burst hit. But the other option I would say that is viable here is the kill streak infiltration, which will allow you to kill more people in a row as it will refresh your cooldown, but the downside there is of course that you won't be able to tank as much damage. So I prefer the hardened infiltration, but they're both good options depending on what you prefer, and I simply tend to pop my shield once the infiltration ability runs out, and then I can melee a couple of people after that. So it's a great combo. Run in, kill a couple of people with the hardened infiltration, your health will most likely go down, pop the shield, and then finish off a couple of more people with the melee. That's the combo I use the most of the time, and then if everything is on cooldown, I'll obviously use my normal blaster instead. And of course, another thing that makes the infiltration ability so freaking good is that you can see people on the map at all times. Sometimes I use it for that only, because being able to see exactly where everyone is honestly a little bit overpowered, I would say, considering it's basically like a vanguard with a wall hack built into it. But there's simply so many good things that work together with the specialist. Flanking is great because you can see where people are through the infiltration ability, and they can also not see you on the radar since you have the stealth star card on. So it's the perfect flanking class, and on top of that, well, you can easily take someone head on as well with the new health boost plus the shield and potentially the hardened infiltration. But yeah, that is gonna wrap up this video. Please let me know what your favorite loadout for the specialist is, or for the other classes, because I know there's a lot of other good options for the specialist that I've tried out, but this is the one I like to use the most right now. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the force be with you.